Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Kerbal Space Program. Once again we are flying over the ocean basically. We just did a little science test, there we go. We're gonna return back to base because we've got some more exciting things coming up in this episode. Which will basically be us upgrading the Space Center and then taking a look at the mission board to see what we can do today. Probably going to be a lot of fun stuff. We might do a new thing. I'm not entirely sure yet. We're just basically flaring speed right now. I could have retroactively set up some action groups on this plane. We do have the part count for it, etc. So some air brakes wouldn't be amiss, but we'll be fine. I've landed this plane a couple of times. I know how she handles. We'll turn off the engines. There we go. We are actually running out of science to do on Kerbin itself, because we did a moon encounter. So we'll be preparing ourselves to go into space and do more things which are spacey and sciencey and pretty awesome. Like for example, maybe rendezvous, who knows? We might rescue a Kerbal out of orbit. Silly Kerbals, what are you doing in orbit? You should be in our space program, not your own space program. Bit of aggressive flying here, I'm not gonna lie. But we still have control of the plane, so nothing to worry about. Coming in for an interesting landing, to say the least, but we are at slow speed, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Right. Well, the positive news is we are really stable now. We'll just land on the nose, there we go. That's all part of the plan. We've got enough money to pay for it right now anyway. See? 900k. There we go. Let's check out the administration building actually, because I'd like to do a fundraising campaign. It's gonna take some of our reputation, and it should give us a lot of money in return for that. There we go. Can't be modified, so now we have one active strategy out of one active strategies. We're gonna do some fundraising. It's gonna cost us reputation, but on the other hand, we would get 6,000 extra funds for this mission to rendezvous. It would lose us 6 reputation, but I'd argue it's worth it. There's other missions we can take, like science data from space around Kerbin, science data from space around the moon, science data from the surface of the moon, rescue someone from orbit. I think we might actually go for one of those, and then go for the rendezvous mission. So we're gonna upgrade that. Tracking station upgrade required for flight planning. Interesting. Well, I'd like to upgrade the tracking station as well, so we can actually see things now. It's gonna take half a minute to upgrade further, annoyingly enough. But we should be able to place maneuver nodes now, or at least in theory. And tracking station allows us to see patched conics, so we should see when we encounter the moon, etc. Can we actually see the people in orbit? No, we cannot. We still have the Sputnik. It's still in orbit. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, let's check out which one of these missions gives the most money, basically. These are pretty much identical. This is a little higher, so that leads me to think he is in an unstable orbit or something. We'll take this guy. There we go. We'll accept this mission as well. Science data from space and moon. Surface. Rendezvous 2 vessels. Sure. I think we might knock that one out while we try to rescue our new buddy in space. Oh, that's my food. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, mostly. let's see, we are on a 77 to 86 kilometer orbit. We are gonna pass over the KSC remarkably soon. I think if we launch when he's at periapsis, and it takes us a while to get into orbit, we should be able to catch up to him, maybe? I know. Rendezvous, I mean, planning rendezvous was never my strong point. I could do it, but it would take a while. But we should be fine. We'll be fine. Oh sure, we'll haul this. Why not? Free mission. Free stuff. So what we've got to do here is a little tricky. We need to get a second pod in there, which is empty, for our friend to hop into. We'll make that detachable. We'll put a heat shield on there. We're going to be coming in hot, probably. We'll put on a swivel engine, there we go. Raise this up, like that. Then we'll put another stage on there, because we can. Just need to find the stack decoupler, there we go. Now here's the question, we could start using a liquid fuel second stage. Or maybe use this as a first stage, combined with a couple of rocket boosters, who knows? Look at the sneeze. Much better. There we go. Right, we could use this as a second stage. We've got about 540 liquid fuel in there. That would get it up to 720, which is roughly the same amount of solid fuel in here. ISP is a little bit lower though, so I think we'll put a Reliant on here. There we go. Reliant at sea level has 200 kilometers, 200 kilonewtons of thrust, whereas the swivel has 168. Then we'll put on radial decouplers, and we'll go big with the thumpers. They'll help us get up. How we doing on parts? 22 out of 30. We should probably upgrade the VAB at some point. We'll include fins on here to keep us stable, and this will be the meet and greet. I don't know, it just sounds silly, but silly can be good, right? Let's not forget to actually include some parachutes on here. We'll put some drogue chutes on there. An actual parachute. How are we on parts? 29 out of 30. Let's not go for the capsule mounted one then. Let's go for regular side chutes. There we go. We'll make a... Oh god. It's not... Well, that explains a lot. There we go, fix it. We now have 2 drogue chutes to pop before all that happens. But first we want to detach and then open the drogue chutes, and then open the regular chutes at a lower altitude, which will be safer. Open at highest altitude. Open at 3000. Just minimal pressure. There we go. This should be enough. Let's go and say hi to our buddy here. Can we actually set him as a target? I hope so. Set as target. There we go. We can actually do that. That is great. We're not going to be burning in targeted mode though. Need to quickly adjust the staging there. So we will fire our engine at roughly a third when all the boosters activate. And a 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff. It's all looking pretty good. We might just roll the engine down further because we are burning pretty good. Might actually adjust the thumpers to be... Yeah. We'll adjust the thumpers to be a little less aggressive. We'll go at 75, there we go. That'll help us burn our fuel a little bit more efficiently. So we don't go at 300 meters per second at 2 kilometers altitude. There we go. Throttle back here and lift off! Once again. Successful liftoff is achieved. The engine isn't active yet, so we need to fix that. What we'll do is we'll activate it manually. There we go. Next stage should be the decoupling of the empty boosters. We are wobbling quite a bit. We could use some... Oh dear. Oh dear. I should not have done that. Jebby, keep control, buddy. He's struggling. But we're roughly pointing up. This is a bad launch. Not gonna lie. Trying to help, but it's not helping much. We are wasting a lot of energy here. Get rid of those, there we go. Now the reason we're wobbling this hard is because we are very long. There we go, I've managed to take back control. Mostly. Now we need to speed up. We can actually now warp to apoapsis, which is interesting. I haven't seen those buttons before. They're definitely going to be useful. We'll have to go full throttle here. We are about to fall out of orbit otherwise. Our periapsis is declining rather sharply. I mean, our prograde vector is going towards the horizon at a unsatisfactory rate, let's call it that. Yeah, this is a failed launch. We did hold it in orbit, I suppose. I mean, we did hold a thing, so yay. But we can consider this a failed launch, unless we suddenly regain control or something, but we are not going at orbital velocities here. It doesn't look like we will be for quite a while. I mean, we are getting up in altitude, but this is very bad. Very bad indeed. We might have to repurpose the Sputnik, because that actually worked, contrary to this. We are slowly raising our prograde back up to altitude, so that's good, but we are running lower and lower on fuel, unfortunately. However, the atmosphere should get thinner. We are about to get up to near orbital heights, I suppose. It's about bloody time because this is about to run out. Let's quickly just point prograde. There we go. Just get out of it whatever we can. Hopefully we'll at least reach like 70k. But, I mean, it's not really that likely with the tanks draining that quickly. Come on, decouple. There we go. Just doing it very carefully so that we actually make it into orbit. Set as target. We can now see the interception, so it's pretty good that we upgraded the tracking station. We didn't quite launch at the right time, I suppose. But we'll have an intercept soon, at least. Yeah, let's start words. Let's start circularizing our orbit here. We launched way ahead of where we should have, which is fine. We'll try and make do. We can always just time warp, I suppose. There we go. Full burn. Point upwards to keep ourselves from going down too hard. And we'll see soon enough whether we can actually do this or not. I think we'll have the fuel to get into orbit, only because we'll have a very light craft indeed. Won't have much won't have much space for maneuvers to actually rendezvous with, but I don't know, I've got a feeling we might be okay. Just need to actually... Okay. So we have got a encounter now. Separation 650 kilometers. Yeah, it's gonna take us a while. We do have a bigger orbit, so we should be slowing down and eventually reaching him. I will be right back when we're actually in a better position to actually encounter, I suppose. Okay, we are still in orbit. We are roughly 2 hours into our mission here, or a third of a Kerbal day. Separation is now at 136 kilometers. It's been taking like 100, 150 kilometer steps, so hopefully next time we pass the node it will get updated so that we are roughly at the same position, which means that we can then start using our limited fuel reserves to start working on an encounter with this guy. And from 136 to 1.9 kilometers. Oh, god damn it. It's like 8:30 here. Why did I have to start drilling in the evening? For crying out loud. I'm not trying to record or anything, no. Anyway, we're gonna get a 2-kilometer separation, which is better than I bloody dreamed of. So actually launching in a messed up orbit worked out really well. So now that we are approaching him, we can actually switch over to target mode. We'll get Jebby to switch over to retrograde facing. Because we can then start burning to kill our relative speed. We can actually see our relative speed at the intersect, which is amazing. This isn't really helping though. But it's gonna make it easier to start flying towards him. Because we'll have to kill the speed at some point. Might as well do it now. And yeah, this is basically to try and literally get the same orbit as him. We are burning a lot of our fuel here, which is annoying. And now we are pretty much as close as we can get. Right. Stability assist. I'd now like to start burning towards him. Like get our prograde to match up with this little circle over here. We should be able to get a better intercept with him without burning really fast. There we go, 1.1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. 800 meters, 700 meters, 600 meters. Right, that's good enough. Get Jebby to start facing retrograde. Once the turning is done, we'll quickly time accelerate. There we go. Kill our rotational speed, etc. We are getting quite low on fuel here, but we should be able to rendezvous just fine. I've done this before. Look! He is all the way over there. Let's do a quick crew report here, because we do have a mission to bring back space science. We have performed a rendezvous! Hello! It was like, yay, you did this. I'm like, yeah, I did. Now, burning to kill our relative velocity will be quite easy. We can go, like, all the way over there, but we don't have to, of course. We are getting a lot of money for this, which is great. Quite a bit of science, actually. So, mission is accomplished. Science data from etc. We could actually just go ahead, kill our relative velocity, and then get... Hopefully we can switch over to that guy now. If we can't, then we'll solve it another way. We are within less than a meter of relative velocity. Do you have any science in here? You're out of electric charge, etc. You're an engineer! Oh, that's great. We'll set the meet and greet as a target, there we go. And we're gonna very slowly fly you over there. Get an EVA report from just above the water, so we don't really need to save that. Like, literally the best course of action here, so not waste much of your fuel propellant, but then again, you have enough of it. Like I say, hey, let's just burn at 10 meters per second. We'll try and kill our relative velocity soon, so that we can actually get in, and then we'll deorbit easily enough. And then we'll have rescued this guy. We don't really have anything for the pod right now, but I mean, we can just leave the pod and recover it at some point. Or just blow the crap out of it with some K4. The Kerbal equivalent of C4, which is not actually a thing. At least not yet. It is actually a thing in Kerbal inventory system because they are amazing. But yeah, we are flying towards our little meet and greet here. Let's slow down a little bit. Try and roughly keep it in the same place so we don't lose them out of nowhere. But we can at least see the thing. And I love that the nav model actually works so that you can see stuff even if you haven't targeted it, etc. It's a lot of great improvements in Kerbal KSP 1.1.2. I have to say, it's a great joy to play this again. We should be able to start lighting them up soon. There we go. Get close. We're still on 4.77. This is actually a good way to recruit people for your space program. We might have to go out and rescue a pilot at some point since Valentina sort of died. Quite horribly. Bored! We just did a mission thing. Kerlock Kerman was added to the crew, is now a part of the space program crew because we rescued him. We've performed a crew transfer near Kerbin, yeah. And we got a bunch of money. Orbit. Get us down safely, please. Of course, we can now unset them as targets. I say unset them as targets. And I mean unset them as targets. We're about to come on our apoapsis here, so we will go ahead and burn retrograde at that point. I don't trust these warped apoapsis and periapsis buttons. That's just a little instinct I kept from my own playthroughs, etc. We've got enough fuel to come down, actually. That's great. We'll go for a 44-kilometer orbit. I don't want to go too high. Lord knows I could kill more Kerbals. I'd rather not, to be honest. We'll designate the pod as debris or something, I don't know. There's not really much we need to do with it anymore. There we go. We'll detach soon enough. I'd like to keep the fuel for, I don't know, maybe try and burn down a little bit. We could burn as I normally sort of slow ourselves down while still trying to slow our orbit down a little bit. I'm not sure if this is actually the right way to do it. I think it is because we are pointing up, so we should, I don't know. Hips a little bit. Oh no, right, that's because Jebediah is literally told, hey, try and not do that if you can. It's actually not working at all. I mean, we're still killing our periapsis and a little bit of our speed, so we're going to come in a little bit slower. Let's just burn. Like, we have the fuel, it's stupid not to use it. We can always try and fly a little bit. Actually, we could always, yeah, try this to see if we can get a little bit more air resistance. We'll point over there. That way we might slow down a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. We have got drogue chutes, so we should be fine. Then again, do we really want to kill Kerlock Kerman? I don't think so. Yeah, I might have screwed us on the burn there. Which would be really bad. Might be time to detach soon. Just want to point that out. Actually, yes, do it. There we go. We won't jettison the heat shield. We are burning quite fiercely here. Thankfully, we have the heat shield with us up later. And I have found the retrograde pointer to be a little unreliable. It's not great. We need to watch out for that debris, by the way. If we smack into it, that would be a very bad day for our Kerbals indeed. Thankfully, we should be fine. We are burning off quite a bit of heat, actually, so we are heating up quite fast, though, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little disturbing. We'll try and point up to see if we can... we are decreasing our speed quite effectively. Hey, it's home! Jesus Christ, this mission has gone almost pitch perfect. Like, we land close to home, we got our guy, we didn't smack our own debris. I mean, look! It's going better than I expected it to, actually. We didn't die in re-entry. Trying to slow us down enough so that the parachutes are safe to open. Look, even the debris is gonna land in the ocean. It's fine. I got this. All of those of you who didn't have faith in me, silly people. Deploy the drogue chutes. Slow us down even better. We are now slowed down enough for the actual parachutes to open. There we go. Look, within swimming distance. Seriously, this was a great mission. Just look at that. Aye. We could launch a plane and intercept these guys before they land. We're not going to, but we could. With my piloting skills. Yeah, this is great. We did an orbital rendezvous. And then we landed back at the Kerbal Space Center. It's almost like I planned it, but I'll be honest. This is just awesome, like, random by chance. I did not plan for this to go that well. We had nearly all our fuel used up. Used a little bit to deorbit, which in retrospect might have made this a little bit harder. But then again, we did land at the Kerbal Space Center, so hey. This is like the perfect mission that we didn't plan for. It's a great way to restore faith in our space program after the whole... after the incident with Valentina and the tourists, unfortunately. We will be naming a space station after Valentina at some point, by the way. Because she was a badass. She died not knowing the risks. Well, I mean, she knew the risks, but... oh well. She's dead now. But, on the other hand, progress is being made to make sure that events like that won't happen again. That pod is now gone. That does not make any sense. Crew report from the water. And we'll recover. But yeah, that has been this episode. We might be actually be in a state we can start going to the moon. Who knows? We've got a level 1 engineer for free. Which is great. He can now repack parachutes. Bill can't repack parachutes yet, but that's because he hasn't been into orbit yet. Yeah. We need another pilot, though. I'd like to have a backup. I mean, it's nice to have another engineer that's expendable. We can always send him off to Duna. But anyway, we're going to end the episode here. If you enjoyed the video, then please do leave a like down below. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. And until next time, have a good one, folks.